Hello YouTube, it's your boy Adam here. In this video we're going to be taking a look at a LUCIAN guide and how to play him to get some more LP and some wins behind your belt. First off, if you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing. I do upload multiple times a week with TFT content, and if you do enjoy the video, please do leave a like and any comments drop them down below. Okay, let's get into it. So we're going to be running through different things in this video for the LUCIAN guide. Here's the table of contents. We're going to go through the build, the itemization, early game, mid game, late game, finally the positioning. So let's start off with the build. So this comp revolves around LUCIAN as a main carry and uses a vertical trait with 6 sentinels. The comp follows a simple progression with sentinels and LUCIAN as a centerpiece. You can also opt to not run 6 sentinels to fit other things like knights or mystics in. There are multiple different variations of this comp, you just have to play what's suited best for the lobby. Ideally you want to go for this comp if you have a good start with sentinels and have good LUCIAN items. There are multiple different comps you can pivot to depending on what items you get, as LUCIAN can hold lots of different items. So in terms of itemization, LUCIAN can hold pretty much any items and still do a lot of damage. In the gameplay you can see I don't have the best items on LUCIAN, but he's still doing enough damage to win me the rounds. LUCIAN can hold both AD and AP items. BIS for LUCIAN for maximum damage is Infinity Edge, Dual Gauntlet and Giant Slayer. This item combination on LUCIAN allows him to move through the front line, gain almost instant access to the backline carries. If you were going to run these items, you should first scout the lobby to make sure there aren't any Bramble Vest users, as this negates all crits, so LUCIAN is going to look like he's slapping them with a wet fish, as he's going to do next to no damage. If there are a lot of Bramble Vests, you can choose to go Deathblade Last Whisper instead of going crit, as this gives you flat AD, helping you deal with those brambles. You can run pretty much any Radiant item on LUCIAN and they will work. Here is a look at some of the best Radiants LUCIAN can use. In my gameplay I got nothing useful, so I had to go Zephyr, but it gives me a 20% attack speed buff, helping LUCIAN cast faster and fire more shots in his ult. The early game is quite simple. Simply find sentinel units to put together and use any remaining team space and other traits you can add into this comp. Irelia is a very strong early game unit as she has so many traits, and at level 2 you can solo frontliner and she can tank for a long time, allowing your other units to kill the opposite team. In the case that you do manage to find an early free cost like a Yasuo, a Riven or a Nidalee, you can simply put LUCIAN items onto this and these can be your item holder for LUCIAN until you find them, as they're very strong early on. If you weren't able to find an early free cost carry like Nidalee, Riven or Yasuo, you can pick up Tristana as she works well with Senna, giving you 2 Cannoneers. Tristana can hold LUCIAN items in the mid game until you find him. In the event you find Galio before LUCIAN, run 6 Sentinels, as this is a strong mid board game thanks to the large shield you get from the Sentinel trait. So as I mentioned earlier, your late game board is going to look different depending on the lobby. Here is a look at the generic board. This looks to run Ironclad and Knights, helping your Galio survive that little bit longer to allow LUCIAN to keep casting. In the event you have a lot of AP heavy comps, you can look to drop the Jax and Nautilus and pick up 2 Mystics instead, giving you a little bit more survivability against those AP comps. If you have both AD and AP heavy comps, you can either go with the 2 above mentioned boards, or you can run Heimer, giving you Renewer for your Rakan to get more heals off, and of course Heimer does a lot of damage and his turret is great for fresh bait. If you manage to find Akshan 2, depending on your LUCIAN items and if you have LUCIAN 2 or not, if you have a remover, you can look to put LUCIAN items onto Akshan, make Akshan your primary carry. Ideally the items need to be AD, as Akshan doesn't work that well with AP items. In the gameplay you're seeing now, I was aware of a Kale 2 in my game with 3 Ironclad and 6 Knights, and I had no way of dealing with this comp as my LUCIAN was not running Last Whisper, so the only way I figured I could win was Akshan 2 or LUCIAN 3. So I took the risk and decided to roll down to see if I could hit either. Obviously you're going to find out what I do hit. Positioning will differ on who you are facing. Here is a generic position for when you are unsure who you are facing. You want Rakan to be close by to LUCIAN, especially if LUCIAN is not running a healing item, as this can decide whether LUCIAN lives and wins a round or dies and you lose health. Senna wants to be a corner bait as she doesn't do a lot of damage in the late game and is only useful for the stun when she casts. Senna and LUCIAN both have a 4 hex attack range, so Senna will never move from a corner, keeping your LUCIAN safe from CC. That is until he dashes into CC, as he always seems to do. Gallery is your solo frontline, all tank items will go onto him. In the case you end up having leftover damage items after putting items onto LUCIAN, These go into Akshan when you find him. Akshan wants to be in the 3rd row, so he doesn't have to walk up to start attacking because he only has a free attack range. If you were running Heimer, put his turret in the opposite corner as Senna, so you have both sides covered if you do come across a Thresh. Lucian's cast is different to Vel'Koz, as Vel'Koz goes for the most amount of units, but Lucian goes for the furthest away unit. So having him in a corner allows him to cast either straight ahead to the left side, or diagonally to the other side. So that wraps up the end of the guide. I have left the last few fights in so you can see what a monster Lucian 3 is. If you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like and consider subscribing. Like I said earlier, I do upload TFT content multiple times a week, so subscribe for more of these videos, as I plan on doing one for all the comps in the meta at the moment. Also let me know in the comments what guide for a comp you want to see, and I'll do my best to make it happen. If you want more TFT videos and guides, take a look at my other videos on my channel. Thank you for watching, enjoy the rest of your day, peace.